Alright, so this is the game that started it all for me. My Kairosoft game obsession. Dream House Days. Technically, I started with the free version on my phone back in high school, um, but I am not kidding when I said this kind of consumed my every waking moment back then. Um, it was not the beginning of my gaming addiction. I've kind of like always had that since I got my DS when I was like 10 years old, but it was definitely one of the games that really solidified mobile gaming for me. Because before that, well, technically, I guess the gaming addiction would have actually started when I was 4 years old because I did play computer games at that time. But then it was computer, then handheld, then this game really solidified the addiction with mobile gaming and my interest in it. And then the very last ones that I got into were console. So I'm just kind of doing everything, you know? Okay, so the apartment name. What should it be? Um I've done plenty of rat themed stuff today. So I don't know if I should continue that. Hmm. Actually, you know what? I've been seeing a lot of Bloodborne memes on Pinterest recently. Like, there's been a resurgence of new ones. Um, maybe like Bloodborne Alley. Hopefully that's not too long. Yes! Yes! Okay, so Average Town and Leisure City. These two have their own specs. One of them, it's a lot easier to get research points, but it's a much harder to get money. The other, it's much harder to get um, research points and much easier to get money. I'm pretty sure Average Town is easier in terms of research points and not so easy in terms of money, if I'm remembering correctly. I always start out with a girl as my first tenant. I don't know what we'll name her. What should she be called? What is it feels a little bit like Tomodachi Life to me when we're like creating characters like this. I don't know. Should I do a random like name generator thing? Hold on. Okay, I just downloaded a random name generator. Let's see here. Okay. Holly Bartoletti. Okay. Holly Bartoletti. Okay, what should her hairstyle be? Let's do this one. It looks like she's got like, these are like low set pigtails maybe, because I think that red is like a little band or something. Okay. I could have done Bloodborne characters, but I don't want to. I don't have enough customization for that right now. I'll be working as Bloodborne Alley's building manager. I hope we can develop it into a wonderful place for families to call home over the next 20 years. For more info, select System, Tutorial from the menu. Let's start by placing a variety of furnishings in each apartment. Okay, so this is one that she lives in. It already comes with a bed. We can look here. The rent is 0.3 right now. Her income is 0.8 because she doesn't actually have a full job. It's just a job seeker. Wish that would be a thing. Instead of just getting no money. Or like barely enough to scrape by if you don't have a job. But technically, if it's early game and they're job seekers, then they can actually like afford a bed and possibly a couple of other very basic items. Later game, it gets a lot harder when the furniture upgrades because the the rent on that furniture increases exponentially. It's very nice. I'm sure I'll enjoy it. But more furnishings would be nice. They could help me grow and develop. I look forward to living here. Yes. So no matter how many furnishings we put in or how good their stats are, at the beginning, these like first people that you're gonna get, they're just not going to be very high in stats. So they're not gonna get like the good jobs right off the bat. The like really good, very nice, very well paying jobs. They're not gonna get those. That's okay. Because their kids have incredible statistical increase. Like, it's crazy sometimes. So that's fine. We can take it one step at a time. She will be getting a job pretty soon, so I'm just gonna kind of go all out with that beginning furnishing. She still got 0.1k, so like $100 that can be left over. Technically they usually spend more than that whenever they go on like little trips over the weekend or something. So typically what I like to do with the rent is leave more than 0.1k as a difference, meaning something that they could keep. I also do that just so that they can build up some savings as well, in case they get into their later years and the furnishings upgrade a little too quickly for them. Even like sometimes the jobs will be close to upgrading but not there quite yet, and that way I can keep them on those jobs and not switch the jobs around, which would decrease the or actually it would increase the amount of time that it takes for the job to level up, which would give them more money. So it's just easier to do all that. Listen, I've been playing this game for a long time. I'm babbling on and on about the strategies I've personally developed, but I can promise you I have no clue about any like actual strategies. I've never read a strategy guide for this game. All of these are just insights that have come up over the years for me personally. This one also has a bed, so I'm technically losing money on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and recruit some tenants. Now I probably should have done that on the first day because it was a weekday and they only come on a weekend. But that's fine. We can do another weekday and weekend. So these are going to be our starting people that we can kind of talk to. So these are recruiters. You can see who they target, how much it costs. It costs research points to do this. And the areas that they do cover. The wider the area, the better the stats of the people, the higher they're going to expect the rating of the apartment to be and the furnishings within it. But the more they can afford, and also they'll unlock new jobs and stuff. You can also target specific people. There are a few throughout the game, so like this comic artist, but she and any like her cost tickets to recruit. So we're gonna start out with posting flyers. And yes, I will add some furnishings, because even though a lot of people typically wouldn't even be able to afford it, just coming in, they do want a ton of furnishings, which is understandable if this were like real life. I typically don't actually house a lot of students just because it takes so much longer. And I don't know, I have never really seen any sort of like strategy. Well, I said I didn't even read any strategies, which is probably why I don't know if it exists for like why you would ever just go ahead and rent to a student. Because to me that's they can't pay a lot and it takes them a while. I guess because you can influence their stats. So technically, you could influence them to have really high stats and specifically target certain jobs that you're trying to get into with like higher incomes. So I guess that might be a way that you could do it. I don't like doing that. I usually save that for like the children, the offspring of the renters. Okay. Special room. These can greatly boost both rent and comfort, so make good use of them. They can also be the bane of your existence later on when you're trying to lower the rent and everything becomes a special room. So it's very give and take. Now, one of the ways you can continuously make sure to get more money is just to constantly rent rooms. So I like to do that, especially when we start out. Wealthier tenants mean higher rent, so keep an eye on changes to their wealth. This is also extremely important. I will be updating and like reviewing all these people's incomes for quite a bit. It's probably going to get tiring to look at, but it's very, very, very important. I had a friend during high school at this time. She absolutely loved the artwork of this game, and she wanted to play it. She could never get through a game because she would constantly bankrupt herself. And I would explain it to her over and over and over again, but like she wasn't in the like calculation headspace that I was, where I was constantly reviewing and updating and changing the furnishings and figuring out different strategies and using items to get people's better jobs or to get them jobs at all when they were still job seeking. Making sure a ton of the children of the tenants stayed in and married each other so that they could have children with even higher stats. It's just a lot. There's a lot of stuff in here. The clothes actually also affect stats. So I can do accessories. And later on we can unlock more accessories. But like a beret, headphones, a bow. These will all affect different things. And there's quite a few. I have a little beret. You upgrade them with tickets, and that upgrades the stats they give out. You can also, when you put them on, it does cost money, or not money, but research points, which is a form of currency. But you can use items to help enhance their stats. You can also use items to enhance the comfort and rent of the furniture. This is, in my opinion, a very, very bad idea at any point early game. Later game, if you have someone with a super high paying job, go nuts. But other than that, be very careful. Let's see your applicants. Okay, so we have 2. Oh, did not mean to do that. Let's see. If we fill up all 3 of their squares with smiley faces, then they will make an offer. Now, I will say students will typically offer the highest. Well, sometimes they offer higher than someone who has a job starting out. But you have to remember that they take a lot longer because they have to finish school, and then they'll be a job seeker, and then they get a job. Unless you have a like job application switch thingy, then you can get them a job as soon as they graduate. Possibly. Sometimes it might fail, depending on their stats. Apartment news. A new apartment building. The new apartment building, Bloodborne Alley, long under construction, has been completed at last. My current place is pretty cramped. I might consider moving if it's nice, said Jay Johnson, a neighborhood resident. Those in the apartment industry are constantly experimenting with new innovations and customer satisfaction, so we look forward to seeing what this new addition will bring to the table. She said, I see. So now we have unlocked research, so we can get furnishings and some little things like you probably saw earlier. There was clocks, paintings, rugs, windows, things like that. We're running low on research points. By the way, I found these in my pocket. And here we have all the space that we can expand, which is great because we can do 3 at a time. So heck yeah. Okay, I did not see him. I'm gonna assume that he had 3 smiling faces. Oh, no, he didn't. Wow. Well, he's a student. I would not rent him anyways. Kent Beatrice. Okay, time to pull out my random name generator. Luther Zemlak. Okay. Luther Zemlak. Okay. Zemlak Luther. Da-da-da. Oop. Sorry. She has not moved in just yet. She will be here soon, though. This song is so ingrained in my blood. It's carved into the walls of my mind. Okay, so I accidentally mix it up. So we have Luther as the last name and Zemlak as the first name, which is wrong. I'm not gonna worry about that. Oh yeah, we got entered, so we'll actually choose later on what we're gonna be doing. Then I think the next year when it rolls around is when we'll do like the job thing. Where we'll hear news on the jobs our people have applied to. In the meantime, I'm going to continue putting in furnishings and renting out rooms. And how much do you make? Not enough for a 1.2k rent. Let's go. Now I will say this game is pretty realistic in how overpriced everything is in the rental industry. So, you know, there's some accuracy. Technically, tenants can both eat and study at the tables. It doesn't matter if it's a desk or a table. They can do both at both. But I just like to add extra sometimes. Oh, now it's hiring season. A lot of students and part-timers will find out results. So let's see. The moving truck has pulled up. Zemlak is here. We got something. Scratch card. We can get new furniture, bonuses for research points, money, and clothing. Oh, and items. The only thing you don't get are tickets. No! Okay. Oh, she's looking for a boyfriend. She just got turned on for a job and she's already looking for a boyfriend. Girl. Chill. Here, use a pencil to develop your intellect. This will help you with hobbies. Both of you failed? Oh my gosh. I have never had such poor luck in this area before. Oh, wow. Okay. Shop. Okay, that shop's not unlocked. This is a ticket shop. We're eligible for 2 categories this year. Which should we register for this time? Most comfortable or highest by rent? Probably most comfortable, even though we're not gonna win. But we're also not gonna win the highest by rent, even though it's only regional. The fastest one I typically win is the comfort by rent. Or what? No, the one by comfort. Rent I typically don't get for a while. I'm confusing myself. What the heck? Specialty get. Okay, so she has developed a hobby now. Aspiration is office worker. Her specialty is now cooking. We can also see what college she went to. And we can unlock more colleges as time goes on as well. Plus we unlock more jobs and also hobbies. You can also see the tenants can have up to 3 love interests. I believe 2 are outside, are reserved for like outside love interests, and 1 is reserved for an apartment romance. If it is a child, then, or anyone that has been born here in the apartments, you will also have their parents here. So, you know, pretty handy for keeping track of things. Give her headphones. Sunglasses. She's so cool. Actually, not sunglasses. Those are just like, I think those are like circle frames. Anyways, she's still cool. Heck yeah, toilets available. Let's go. Ah, it's still at 1K. Oh my gosh. It's because I added that freaking room. Sorry, girl. No table and no cushion for you. You gotta eat standing up. But hey, you save an extra 200. Okay, washer dryer. I cannot wait until Pumpkin gets over here so I can buy stuff from his store. I'm definitely gonna buy the job application stuff. Here you can see we have day and night cycle. We also have the cycle of the seasons, 4 in all. You have your year counter there, and either it is a weekday or weekend, AM or PM, and then the clock. Just a little quick rundown of that part of the UI. And kind of seeing how each season is basically it's basically 2 days. It's made up of a weekday and a weekend. And then the length of the game, which counts towards your end score, is 20 years. Okay, 2 tenants recruited. They look like twins. They are wearing almost the exact same clothes. The only thing different, it's the pants. That's it. One is slightly darker than the other, and one is slightly lighter than the other. That's it. I know for sure they're not twins or brothers. This is just kind of freaky. Oh wait, no, they have different hairstyles. Just the same colored hair. That's still kind of freaky. No wait, dude. No, they have the same hairstyle. Dang. Okay. Weird. Weird. Part-timer. Good. Okay. Gonna pick this person. Let me see here. You're gonna be Randy Heaney, I think. So it's gonna be Heaney Randy. Okay. The only tricky thing with this localization is that the game is made by a Japanese company, and in some of their localizations they'll switch around the names so that it'll be like, if they're doing English, they'll do the first name first and the last name last. But sometimes, like in this game, they won't do that, and it'll be the last name first and the first name last, like how it is in Japan. So it can get kind of confusing, especially because there's no like track record even among their newer games that they have been recently releasing. It'll be different each time. So I just guess. I just guess. Especially because a lot of the time, in English, technically... Oh. New wig. Technically speaking, people have the freedom to just switch around their names and have the first name be a last name, and then their last name be a first name, or have two first names, you know, what have you. I mean, I get you could probably do that in other places too, but it's like, for some reason, I think in America particularly, people would be prone to do that because they just be like, oh, it's unique. I mean, I named my kitten Orbit, short for Orbital Space Satellite, so like, who am I to judge? I need to turn on my lamp. This giant screen is hurting my eyes. Okay. So, actually, I don't know if we have benches yet or not. I need to look into that. We don't, I believe. I'm pretty sure that we don't. Oh, no, I was just lying to myself. It's fine. So these benches are typically how the romance starts. Tenants can also become friends, so it isn't really tracked. It's mainly romance that's tracked. And this game, it has to be an opposite sex romance. So there's not going to be anything fun. Nothing like real life. It's only going to be girlfriends with boyfriends and boyfriends with girlfriends. So just prepare yourself for that. And the clothing and all those options are very gendered as well, so you can't pull like a Tomodachi Life. Just a warning. I don't really know if everyone's gonna go over here. Sometimes it's like really hard to do like apartment romances, because it's always up to them if they go and sit on this bench and when they do it. And sometimes, like, it may be two people who may meet and sit on the bench and talk to each other, and they won't be the ones that you want. But if that space in their relationships area is already filled up with a person, they can't have another one. So it's like, guys, please. Job change pass. That's what I wanted. Okay. Let's do a little bit of a stat booster. 80%. Let's go. Yay! Yay! I'm gonna let her go to 1 day of work so that she has enough money to pay what the rent will increase to once I add more furnishings in here. See, she's going to sit down and read, but he's still like doing things in here. So they did not meet. Now he might come out later and sit down, and these two will be too busy. She immediately walked back out to sit right back on the bench and read again. He's on the phone. I do know, like I've read in passing on the Reddit, the subreddit for this, for Kairosoft games in general, that was what some people do to influence the relationships is they will delete all of the furnishings in the houses and then have a bench in between two apartments so that the only activity they have is going to that one bench. And then they'll meet like that and then they can develop a relationship. I don't do that because I'm too lazy. Hello, I represent Pumpkin Products, purveyor of anything and everything you could possibly need. I heard about this fine apartment building and wanted to introduce our services. We carry an array of goods that should prove useful for your building. Allow me to offer a sample. Another job change pass. A pumpkin man after my own heart. Okay. Job change. Ooh, that's not a good. That is not a good thing. Okay, I'm gonna use the rent booster on you to boost your stats a little bit. Okay, it did nothing apparently. Those were the 2 stats that did not affect you. Let's see. How about you? Oh, you're about the same. I keep hitting back and not reading what it's wanting me to do. Okay, so total rent collected. I don't have anyone living in apartment 2. Okay. Let's try to be a little bit better next year, guys. Let's pay on time, okay? Pay on time and pay the amount owed. Special rooms. Okay. Shop pumpkin products. I will be buying some of these. Also, the hobbies will affect stats, like it'll target a certain stat. And then the 80% now. Yay! And jobs can also influence the stats. Hired. Yay! Hopefully these 2 should be earning a good amount of money. Okay, how much do you have on hand? Can't see it from there. Oh! 100. Well, go to work and have fun. Okay, no, she's not. She's going to town, so she's just kind of walking around. You're going to work, so I can probably upgrade your space a lot faster. You're going to a party to meet someone. Have we restocked since it's a new day, or has it? No, it's too soon. Dang. Okay. Well, I can go ahead at least and start improving this one. I'm gonna do shower, toilet, sink, that there. I don't know if she'll be able to afford the TV too. Maybe. We'll see, because it's probably going to create a special room. Possibly 2. Yep, special room. Yep, special room. Ooh, we unlocked expansion. Okay. Well, maybe when I just keep that 0.3 as her like savings. Oh, meeting! Oh my gosh! I'm actually not probably going to encourage the resident romance for these 2, because they're both like I would if they were children of previous tenants, because then they would both have the increased stats, which would mean their children would probably have more than just those increased stats, which is already quite a lot. But instead they're just 2 I brought in from outside, so they don't have that. Okay, awesome. She went ahead and got a little bit more. Get her a fridge. Washing machine. There you go. Don't mind my noises. They just happen sometimes, okay? I have a little window here so she can look out. Clock here by the door so you know when to leave. And a calendar also by the door. Oh, special room. That absolutely did not increase the rent, like how it said. Storage rack. Put that in there. The dresser. TV. She's a nervous. She's like, well, slow down. Stop adding so much furniture. What if you can afford it? What if your tenants can afford it? Gonna save. I've got vending machine and garbage room. Okay. Start that one. 16, dang. Okay. Expand. It says 0 in the way of research points, which is true, but you have to pay this money and this money. So, right here, no tickets. That's fine. That is 24K. That is 24K. 26K. No tickets. They do have little gardens though, so that's pretty cool. This one is 28K. 3 tickets. They also have little gardens. Different situation here with the entrances and stuff. These do not have gardens. 34K. 7 tickets. 2 small rooms. 1 large one with this kind of wraparound garden. 36K and 7 tickets. You say we can keep going up, and this rank also increases. So big apartment, 98K, 14 tickets, and the final one, 250K and 25 tickets. Oh, also the more you play this game, the more you can unlock apartment buildings in different cities, and the more different types of rooms you get to unlock. So it can be kind of fun. But the thing about these big rooms is that they do cost more just off the bat. They cost a lot more. So just bear that in mind. Also, so we are running low on funds, that's correct. These rooms, when you unlock, like, that they can have children and stuff, they can only have so many in the same house at a time. Larger rooms, you can have more kids in there. Also, the tenants can have pets, so it's always only one pet per apartment. Alright, we have invited the comic artist. Hopefully we don't go bankrupt before then. Boss, a secretary friend gave me some good stock tips a while back. Thanks to her I made 10K. I'll give it to you for the apartment building. I'm afraid that's all I have though, so use it well. They really do just go around giving you money. Ooh. Oh yeah, charisma will also affect dates and can affect how willing someone is to marry your tenant when they propose. So there's that as well. There's another little tidbit of information. I'll have that there so you can know how long you've talked on the phone with someone. Someone who won't let you go. You can also only advertise these apartments to one person slash recruiter per weekend. So I can't like furnish multiple ones and then be like, for rent, for rent, for rent over one weekend. It's like if I recruiting tenants already, please wait until next weekend. It's one each week. And if you fail, then you just have to wait for the next weekend. Okay, garbage room is almost done. The garbage room and vending machine go outside of the apartments in the hallway like the benches. Let's see how many oh, you've built up a good amount of savings. Oh, stop, I'm not clicking on the wall clock, please. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Kind of looks gray and old. Okay, one recruited. I do not have the funds to haggle if she is not impressed by this apartment. So, hopefully she likes it. Okay, so nothing earned on the first look. It's fine. You can keep going. Ooh, garbage room, yay! Two earned on the second. It's pretty awesome. We just need one more. It's a hit or a miss. Let's find out. Come on, comic artist. Like this place. Please, please stop, don't go towards that door. Okay, yeah. Go to the room that made you really happy in the first place. Yes! Okay. We'll be renting to her. Yay! And she's gonna pay a deposit of 19.5K. Personality romantic, has higher stats than usual. The wealth is 3.4. Dora Montoya. Let's see here. Easter Co-op. Okay. It's like Co-op Easter. Okay, I am probably going to end the episode here. Ooh, okay, yeah, this is gonna be good. We can put in basically anything and everything for her. For a little while at least. But I'm gonna have dinner and then I'm probably gonna continue with this episode. But this is gonna be episode 1. So technically I guess I'd be continuing on episode 2. Alrighty. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.